Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Got another video. This one's a little bit different. I've got a bit of a comparison video here between two races I did on the Muckle Yin, which is, as you can see, is a 25k race, or actually I think it's a bit less, 24k. One lap. Got two power-ups in these races. This is stage 3 of the race Scotland. Now in the first race I went with the S-Works Atheos with the CLX wheels, I want to say, climbing wheels, the Alpinist, that's right. In the second race went with the same frame but the Enve 7.8 wheels. So we jump into the race, we're about 3.5 minutes into it, and you can see side by side I've got the race I did on Tuesday the 21st, and then the race I did on the Thursday the 23rd. So I've synced them up. The times are pretty spot on. So you get to see where I'm at in both races in terms of the distance, but you also get to see the heart rate and power that I'm putting out. Now it's interesting, the first race on the 21st I felt it was one of the first races, so it's a much, there's more in the peloton. I think there was around about 107, so it felt like a faster race, and you can kind of see that with the difference in the distance. So you can kind of see in the first race, in the 21st, I'm at 2.9 kilometers now, whereas the second I'm only at 2.8. Now it was interesting because the second race kind of felt a little bit more relaxed, so I didn't expect it to be difficult. I also didn't expect it to be slower either, faster than my first race, sorry. So I kind of was a bit more relaxed coming into it, and you kind of get to see that throughout the race. And so I'm just waiting for the screenshot to change there. But you notice that my heart rate in the 23rd race is a lot lower, a bit lower than my heart rate in the 21st race. Now, as I said, the only difference is that I've got the same frame, different wheel set. Nothing else has changed. And I wouldn't have thought there's a lot of difference between the Alpinist wheel set and the Enve 7.8s, but it turns out maybe there is. So in the 23rd race, I kind of struggled to get a warm-up done. I realistically only got maybe 5 or 6 minutes of a warm-up done because I had some technical issues with my trainer not connecting to Bluetooth. But having said that, it's not out of the ordinary for me to only have a 5 or 10 minute warm-up for the races I do. Okay, so we can see on the left hand side I'm at the 4.2k mark, on the right hand side for the same time I'm at the 4.1k mark. But the big difference is the heart rate. So I'm at 148, 147 for the 23rd race on the right hand side. I'm at 153 for the heart rate on the right hand side, on the left hand side. So it's I really did feel the race was more, it was harder. Like, it wasn't a difficult race. I mean, it's a difficult race anyway, but I didn't feel like that was the issue, and I really didn't think that the wheel set that I chose was going to be a major problem either. I kind of felt that it was geared towards more of the climbing, because in the Sgurr route you've got these two climbs back to back sort of thing. Well, you go around, you come back, but there's a bit of climbing involved. So overall in this race is about 280 meters of climbing, somewhere around there. So I kind of, in the race I did on the 21st, geared that up towards more the climbing side of things. On the race on the 23rd, I kept the same frame, but dialed it back in terms of the climbing to more of an aero bike with the Enves. So it was really interesting. Now, I've not done a side-by-side race comparison. I have thought about it. I just haven't had the opportunity to do the same race realistically, sort of with a couple of days recovery in between, to really get the full effects. And the thing I love about this one is the fact that I kept everything the same except for the wheel set. Now, I was talking to Hutto at Hutto AHDR on YouTube, so go check him out if you haven't already. Now, he did the same race tonight. He didn't do the same race. He did Sgurr, which on a gravel bike, and he got a faster time again. Like, he's a much stronger rider than I am, but it was interesting that, you know, on a gravel bike he got a faster time, especially on the north side, which is the first side that I hit. So I'm fresh. We've only been riding for, you know, 7 or 8 Ks before you hit the north side. The north side, yep. And so I thought that, you're going to do a better effort. He beat me by 2 seconds, and so it's like, it's not a big deal, but it does pose the question, especially with ZRL. I think it's the second semi-final coming up, where it's a timed, almost like a time trial, really, but not really, on Sgurr, where you've got to ride as far as you can within a 45-minute period. So maybe a gravel bike could be the sneaky weapon there. Anyway, that's a side note. So we've got, we're sort of on the left-hand side of the 21st, I'm at 6.6. On the right-hand side, I'm 6.4. So definitely, we've hit out harder on the first race than we did in the second race. Now, you can't see it, but behind the little avatars of me on the right-hand sides there, I've covered up the groups. So I think even in the 21st, we still had like 80 odd riders in that front group, whereas you can see on the second, on the 23rd, we were down to like 45 or something like that. And by the time we hit the climb, I think we were down to less than 40. And then after that, it just kept dropping because people kept dropping off the back. So yeah, it was. I really felt that like the race on the 23rd for me would have been a slower race, and that's what I was geared up for. It's like, I'm just going to stick with the front. My goal had been to try and stay with the front in the 23rd race over the first climb. When I raced it on the 21st on the left hand side, I just kind of blew up about halfway up the climb. I don't know, couldn't handle it. I lost it. Now, maybe that was because of the climbing frame with the climbing wheels. I don't know. Hard to say, and that's why it's really interesting to watch this comparison side by side to kind of see what maybe happened. And given the fact that I've only changed one component, everything else remained the same, it's really interesting to sort of see how it felt. And I was really surprised with the outcome. I was actually really amazed. I did not expect to happen. I did not expect what to happen. I did not expect the outcome that happened to occur, I guess is what I'm saying. Now, for those that have seen my videos, the majority of the videos I do are all live streams, so I don't normally come back and re-edit and narrate videos, only because it just takes so much time to do that. And if I can get the streaming done, that's it. It's a raw result. You get what you get, and you don't get upset. But in this case, I thought, a comparison video would be actually really interesting. Given that this is a fresh course, not a lot of people have had a chance to either race it or race it enough where you get to know all the ins and outs of the course. And so I was watching to see the different landmarks we were passing, so you can kind of see again we're probably I'm about 250 meters behind on maybe 200 meters behind on the second race than where I was at the first. And so on the second race, I just went, I've got to try and do my best to try and stay with the front group here. I didn't want to do anything, out of the ordinary. I just wanted to stay within that, towards the front, as long as I could see what was going on. And even if you look at me particularly, on the right hand side in the white cap, you get the sense that I'm more relaxed. On the left hand side, in the black cap, yeah, the head's bobbing, the shoulders are moving around. It just shows that I'm less comfortable and I'm struggling more than I really should be, really, for this climb. But but it's touching on 6%. I mean, it's not an easy climb, and it just drags on. And then you go over the gravel. It does really kind of make it more difficult than you really think it is. I would think it's a lot like the volcano climb in terms of how it feels. I don't think it's as long as a volcano climb. Well, definitely not as long as a volcano climb, but certainly it feels draggy like that. Like you're putting out big effort and you don't feel like you're just moving anywhere. And you can kind of see that on the left hand side there. I hit that little pinch, and it just felt like I'd stuck. I'd hit some mud and I hadn't gone anywhere. On the right hand side though, yeah, I don't know, man. I just punched it up. It wasn't, I mean, we're dragging out there a little bit, but I still feel like I'm in touch with the front, and that was my goal. So yeah, I'm there at the front. My heart rate is still even sort of in a similar spot in the route. We're only maybe 100 meters apart now in terms of left and right. Heart rate's at 173 on the left hand side, 175. I mean, I don't know. And of course, this is the point on the left hand side there where I just dropped. I just went, no, I can't keep doing this. And I'm going, no, I'm dropping. And it's a real shame too, because I'm only maybe a minute and a half from the top. So I'm definitely struggling. And that was frustrating too. It's like rewatching that back after Tuesday night. Yeah, it's like I've done way better than that, and I'm not sure if it was just the day, if it was how I was feeling. I mean, everyone knows that's racing. It's like, well, if you feel good, then you're on. But if something's kind of throwing you off, yeah, mentally you struggle. And now you can kind of see that we're almost at the same spot in the race. So maybe on the right hand side, I'm maybe 40 meters behind where I am on the left. Probably about here is where we're equal. And that's amazing. Like, I mean, watching these videos back, and I've watched other videos back that I've made, and kind of you work out, oh look, I should have pushed here, or if I had have backed off there, it would have been a different story. But watching them side by side like this is really, if you're serious about racing in Zwift, if you're not sort of recording your rides, you're missing out on a lot of information. So you can see here now that on the right hand side, I'm at 10 kilometers. On the left hand side, I was at 9.9, and I'm crossing the banner now on the right hand side. Pick up an aero. On the left hand side, just crossing now, so I'm maybe 10 seconds behind on the left hand side. And I'm still feeling stronger on the right hand side, the 23rd of Feb. And I remember Scott on my stream at the time was saying, pump it, push the aero, try and pick up speed on the way down. But I was struggling. It was bizarre. And so maybe the aero frame and the aero wheels had cooked me. I don't know. Trying to just stay in the group. And so you can see now we're at 10.6 on the right hand side, 10.5 on the left. Heart rate's at 167. Heart rate's at 174. So every time that my heart rate's above, around that 175, creeping up to 180, as an older guy, I'm starting to struggle, and I can hold it for a bit, but I can't hold it for too long. And so we're just descending, and maybe this is again where the aero wheels have really contributed here, because certainly it felt faster. And I felt better about the race at this point. But I knew that we're going to do the second climb. Now, interestingly, the second climb is shorter. It doesn't feel as draggy, and maybe that's the surface of the road, but yeah, it didn't feel as draggy on the south side climb. I did that in 2 minutes 22. So it's like you're caught up between your 1 minute power and your 5 minute power. It's like 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, or 2 minutes. Yeah, it's a hard one. Like, you can't sprint it, like you can't, absolutely smash it like you would say with the leg snapper or something like that. But you can't really sit in either. It's like the reverse Titans Grove. It's exactly like that. You've got to pump it. You can't sit in. You can't get comfortable, but you can't brute force it either. So you can see here now we're 200 meters. I'm 200 meters ahead on the right hand side. I was 200 meters behind, so I've picked up 400 meters, almost half a kilometer on the right hand side, and I don't know why. I mean, again, I don't know. Could you contribute it to the Enve 7.8 wheelset? I don't know. I just wouldn't have thought it would have been that much. Now, admittedly, I'm in a group on the right hand side. I've been able to stick with the group. On the left hand side, I'm stuck by myself. But I do know that I do pick up a couple of riders that are going to come up now. Just there we go. So I go, well, I'm going to stick with these guys. Hopefully recover a little bit. And try and pick up some distance and some speed here. But Sgurr, man, it's a hard one. It's not a climb. It's it's rolling. There's a lot of rolling aspects to it. But those two climbs, they're difficult. And I think with the ZRL series coming up, it's going to really smash a few people. Those that have been good at, say, the reverse Titans Grove or similar, like, it's not like the reverse Swiftcom. That's a bit steeper, I think, and shorter. That's like 900 meters, so this is longer than that. But anyone that can do those kinds of climbs under power, they're the ones they'll pick up the points. So on the left hand side, I'm still pushing 4 watts, 4.5 watts on the right hand side, 2.8 watts, 2.9. So I'm definitely working less on the right hand side than I am the left. And I've watched this a few times and I can't figure it out. I mean, it could be just, as I said, it could be how I was feeling on the day, but coming around that right hand, I was working a lot harder, obviously. Heart rate on the 23rd ride is 165. Heart rate is 10 beats higher a minute. So definitely I'm feeling it, and I'm behind 200 meters, maybe 250 meters. But gotta say that, man, I love how well the Scotland route looks. Especially after Nyokio and Umezi. I love the Umezi countryside. I don't know about the Nyokio. Like sure, it's good, but it's just a hard contrast. I really do appreciate more of the realistic sensations you get from the Scotland route. And I was talking to Zwifty, who you can follow his channel on my. You can find his channel on my channel, under the channels section. He's been racing Scotland probably for most of the races since it got released, and he really felt like it was true in terms of that in real life experience. It's not identical to any kind of Scotland route, but certainly it felt like it was he felt like it was very similar to what he had experienced racing over in the UK. So coming up around there, I can see on the right hand side we're about to go through the arch, and there's another banner there. So we're 14.8 kilometers on the left hand side, 14.7, so still behind. But on the right hand side, I was feeling a lot more comfortable, even though I've been dropped. I'm sort of sitting, I think, still sitting in the front pack here. So we're still, this is the front pack. We hadn't hit the south side climb yet. So 15.1 k's in, hadn't hit the south side climb, still feeling good. Knew that I was going to struggle coming at that south side climb, and was just prepping myself for it. On the left hand side, man, struggling. I'm probably sitting about 25th now on the left hand side, and I knew that I had to hang on to this group that I'm in to have any chance of anything. Yeah, I mean, what are you going to get when you're 25th? But, trying to hold on to what I could do. I didn't want to be limping across the line by myself. So I felt if I could hang on to the group on the left-hand side and keep going, then I would make it as the least painful that I could make it coming in. But yeah, I mean, like, you can see here that we're maybe 250 meters difference. Maybe 200 meters difference, 200 meters, bit under 200 meters, 180. Coming up to the castle again. And yeah, the only difference is the wheel set, which just actually, when I've looked at this maybe 2 or 3 times now since I recorded it and put them side by side. Yeah, it was really surprising. And now that Hutto turned around and said, yeah, well, he raced it on a gravel bike and did just as well, kind of throws some real question marks around this in terms of racing. Like, all right, so if you're going to do this is the Mickle Yin. So the Mickle Yin includes the rolling Highlands, and then the Sgurr, city and Sgurr, or was it just Sgurr? I don't know. So yeah, you've got a mixture of different roads, and of course, if you've got point sections in different segments, then yeah, maybe the gravel bike isn't going to be your best option. But if you're just doing Sgurr, the gravel bike could be the way to go. And especially if you're repeating it backwards and forwards, which I think the semi-finals of race 2 is, then that could be, I'm just going to bring that up right now. Actually, no, it's not Swift Power, it's WTRL, that's what it is. I'm just going to jump over to the schedule, don't have it. Yeah, I've got to look at where the races are. Yeah, I think it's semi-final 2 anyway. It's really also funny too, like I'm watching myself side by side, and I'm kind of seeing some similarities there, like in terms of different segments. I'm doing the same thing. It's really interesting to watch. I mean, if you get a chance to record yourself and put them side by side, I think you get to learn a lot about who you are as a rider, and where you're at in terms of the effort and the pain levels. Okay, so we're 17.2, yeah, just turned over 17 on the left hand side into this, 26, almost 27 minutes. Now on the right hand side, I'm coming back up to the castle again, over the bridge. And on the left hand side, I remember thinking, man, I'm struggling to hang on to these guys. Now, interestingly, I can see my heart rate on the left-hand side has stepped down to 173, and I'm doing everything I can to try and recover a little bit. Just sit in on these guys. Heart rate sitting at 175, but I didn't feel that way. Like, sometimes it's weird. Like, you know, when you're struggling, you can absolutely feel it. But other times, you're having a great ride, or a great race, and you look at your heart rate. Oh, I didn't realise it was that high. But yeah, 175 is, you know, anything above that, I'm starting to see red. Things are going shaky. Especially if I've got to maintain it for a while. Okay. So we're tapping on the 18k mark. So you can see it's 17.8 left hand side, 18.1, so we've got to be around 220 meters difference. No, nothing outrageous. Oh, hey, shout out to John from Aero there. You can see him on the left hand, on the right hand picture on the left hand side in the Aero kit. He's on the Yellowtron. He actually won this race. So congrats, John. That was a monster effort, buddy. I've raced against him a number of times in the ZRL series, and yeah, he's got the gear. You can check his channel out in the description of the video below. I've also got him listed in the channels there, so go check him out. He's awesome. He does great videos. I can just see myself just trying to losing touch. So we're coming up to the second climb now on the right hand side on the 23rd, and I knew that I was just gonna bail. Just didn't have it. But interestingly, I was like only 2 or 3 seconds off my best up here anyway. So I'm going to do this again probably on Saturday, maybe Sunday, and I just want to keep doing this particular race until it stops, because I think it's an awesome race, especially in preparation for the semi-finals. It's a really good hit out in terms of that longer effort you need to put in over a long drag. And you can see on the map on the right hand side, the right hand side, I'm maybe 600 meters from the finish. I mean, I don't know why I gave up so easily, but yeah, I did. And that might be the mental aspect too, because I had such a poor ride on the 21st. Maybe that was playing into it. I don't know. But you get that, don't you? You have good rides on a course, and then every time you ride it afterwards, you kind of feel really cool about it. You're like, oh, this is awesome. I love this one. But if you have a bad experience, especially if it's a new experience too, you sort of, oh man, this is shit. I hate this one. And you already talk yourself out of it. And I think that's kind of what happened a little bit on the right-hand side there. If I'd stuck it out for another minute, I would have been with the front group. And then you would have just worked with the group on the way back in, and it would have been a different story. So I did get the aero. I try to use that as much as I could. I'm trying to put in effort there. You can see, 3.3, 3.1 watts per kilo. But again, it's interesting. Like they changed it up. There's dirt. There's a mixture of mediums. I'm assuming that's gravel. I don't know. Is it some sort of? Is it like the new routes in Umezi? Is that you've sort of got this compacted dirt medium, which is a little bit more conducive to speeds than say gravel is. I haven't read anything. If you heard anything, let me know. Drop a comment in the in below, and let me know what you know. But you can see the dust coming up, because I kind of think it's like it's a gravel thing. It's a dirt thing. So I'm still 200 meters in front on the right hand side. I'm by myself now. I think I'm still sitting around 10th, 8th or 10th. On the left hand side, on the 21st, I think I'm still sitting around 25th, 26th, somewhere around there. Actually, you can see it in the, there we go, was it 20, I can't see it in this preview. Can I make the preview bigger? Maybe not. Yeah, you can see it in the numbers below. So 14th on the right hand side. Oh, now that I've caught this group. So maybe there's, maybe just 150 meters difference between the left and right. Heart rate still sitting at 176 on the right hand side. And look, I don't know who else watches these videos. If you're an older guy like me, you're knocking on mid 40s, 50s. Let me know what your heart rate sits at. I mean, I've been looking at other guys in the 50 plus category, and I mean, man, 177. I've got to say that's not bad for an old guy. If you find yourself in the same boat, or you can do higher, then let me know what you do for an average for a race, because it's not easy, is it? All right, so 21.5 kilometers now. We're back into Glasgow. We're back into the Glasgow crit circuit, and you can kind of see in the maps in the top right hand corners of both videos sort of where we're at. And so I know that we've got some pinches to come up. On the left hand side, man, I was struggling. I knew that this was going to be difficult, and I've already let, or if I haven't already let him go, I'll let him go now. Yeah, because I just knew I couldn't do it. But on the right hand side, still sticking with this, this second group. This is the second group behind the first, so it's not like I'm 45 spots back. So we punch this climb on the right hand side. I think I fired the arrow a bit too early on the left hand side, but that's what happens when you're in pain. You'll do anything you can to try and alleviate a little bit of it. And it's interesting when you see that in races too, where you see people fire their power-ups way too early. You know that they're already in the hurt locker, and they're trying to do everything they can to alleviate their pain as best they can, or as soon as they can. So on the left hand side, I'm still punching up that climb, and if anyone's raced the Glasgow crit, they know exactly what I'm talking about there. That's going to make some really interesting races, and I can't wait for that to open up so we can do some more races there, because if anyone knows it, it's going to be an awesome hit workout. That climb is much better than the Crit City ones. Okay, so on the right hand side now, I'm thinking about, okay, we've got a finish. So we're about 1 kilometer, I think. Something about 1 kilometer out. I know we're going to come up. We'll do 2 rights and then a left. And so I'm starting to prep for the finish. Now I know where I'm at. The best I'm going to get is maybe 10th or 9th or something like this in this group. But still, that's better than 14th or 15th. So you've always got to pump where you can. So we come around, and so I know that I'm going to do what I normally do, which is to pull back to the back of the group. We've picked up that blue Tron. There's a guy that was trying to, I think he was trying to make a break for it, but he just couldn't hold it. So looking at the right side video, the left side is done. Nathan from Tuesday, he's finished. He's doing everything he can to get across the line. But Nathan from Thursday is in with half a shot here. So I'm sort of sitting back. Yeah, we've got a few hundred meters. I'm just going to turn left here. And you can see the trail that I'm going to follow. And I've hit the arrow and I'm off. Now I noticed, and I've done this a few times, I hit the arrow before I actually start pumping. I've got to stop doing that. So past 1, 2, I'm trying to get these two guys before the finish to get 3, and just missed out on that one. So I think I finished in raw results in 11th on the 23rd, but again, you can see the night and day difference. And I don't know, man, is it the wheels? Like, it can't be the wheels. Pretty much ate the same thing both days, did the same things. It wasn't like I did anything different on either day. So I didn't do any gym workouts, didn't do anything else, but you can see the difference here. It was a full minute between what I did on Tuesday and what I did on Thursday. Maybe just under 1 minute, like maybe 58 seconds, but. And I remember on the left-hand side, I was looking at the groups, and I could see the guys were picking me up, just behind me. Like, they were like 6. They'd come from like 20 seconds, 25 seconds, and by the time I crossed the line, there was 6 seconds. So they were going to definitely pick me up. Yeah, so you can see there the times there. There's almost a full minute difference, and that was just incredible. And the only thing I changed was the wheels, and It can't be that the wheels were the only thing that made that easier. So you can see John there, Jay in aerospace. He smacked it. 37.30. Absolutely stomped it. So congratulations, John. That was well done. As I said, you can check out his videos. The link will be in the description below. Puts out awesome content. Hasn't done too much recording of late, but definitely worth a look. Yeah, so you can see I finished raw results there. They were 11th. I think it was at 38.08. I think in the race on the 21st was like 39.05. But it was really interesting looking at the Zwift Power results. So if you check that out, it was an average power. Like the average power and the normalized power were almost the same. But I can see that there was a slight difference. But my power, the 20-minute power was 2.9 versus 3 watts per kilo. But my 5-minute, my 1 minute, and my 30 seconds, and the 15 seconds, don't worry about that, were higher. So it was, obviously I was doing more work, but it didn't feel that way on the climbs than I was in the first race. But when I look at my max heart rate, it was 184, but my average was 167. So 167 for the 23rd race, 170 for the 21st. I mean, I can't figure that out. So one would think that having a lighter climbing frame, things would have been a little bit easier, but apparently not. So I would really recommend, if you're not, as I said, if you're not recording your rides and you're not doing sort of the same races, you perhaps maybe you need to, and you can sort of sit there, go back and have a look. You don't have to show anyone. Go back and have a look there side by side. And there's so much that I picked up in this particular comparison that I wouldn't have seen before. Not besides the fact that I'm bobbing around like a little dog you have on your dashboard of your car. But I was trying to reach John then to congratulate him on his race, and it's probably saying congrats John and well done. But he did really well. So excellent effort. So we'll do this race again. I think on. I'm going to say Saturday, so that kind of continues the 2-day effort thing, but the problem is I do gym on Saturday and Sunday, so I'm not sure whether to do it before the gym or after. I think I'll probably do it before, and sort of try and see. Now I'll probably do the next one on the Tron, but if anyone else has suggestions on which bike I could try and ride for the third race, let me know in the comments, and we'll have a look at it. So yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you got something out of this. I know I did. If you you got something useful, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It really helps me motivation to keep doing what I do, and hopefully leave me a comment, and I'll definitely respond to all, and hopefully I'll catch you in the next race.